So growing the pumpkin down the hill was a great idea in for some parts. I didn't get this one trained to go over here before it got that long. But I do have pumpkins. But I also discovered after being gone a day and a half to celebrate my mom's birthday and some other things that I'm not sure if I broke that stem when I was putting the fabric down, because I did hear a couple of snap crackle pops. So I gave it credit for that. But then I came up today because I had a lot of yellowing leaves. Sure enough, eggs under them. So we'll see. It's kind of difficult to get to being on the hill, but I'm just gonna let it go for what I can, catch what I can, and see what comes out of it. I still have a lot of new growth going on over there, and this one here, of course, but that one down there, and it has a nice sized pumpkin on it too, and I think that's what I broke that one when I first lifted it up. Um, I am not going to cry about it. It is what it is. It's nature. They do what they do. I do what I can with the time that I have allowed and hope for the best. But so far, this is the progress of my pumpkins on the hill. I've got a nice size one there. Hopefully that it's on that vine, so it should be okay. I'll keep an eye out for borers, because that's what I thought that was. But I really think that's from me breaking the stem somewhere along the line from moving it. Um, Keeping an eye on the rest. I cut off 4 leaves and killed lots of clusters of eggs and an actual hatched colony. So that was interesting. They got the torch to them. Okay, I'm going inside because the sun has started to come up over those trees, and that means I need to get inside. I don't have a hat on, but I do have my long sleeves. I got a little harvest of green beans for my dinner, another eggplant, 2 cucumbers. There were more over there, and my first ever bell pepper. I know it's not the biggest, but guess what? I grew it, so that counts. That's 1 bell pepper that I didn't have to purchase at the store. I don't know what's going on with my camera, but I probably should stop recording because my phone is pretty jank. A new one should be coming within another few days, thanks to my great nephew. Not great nephew, but my awesome nephew, because he's my nephew. Um, Works for AT&T, and that's my carrier. So I'm getting a new phone just in time for my birthday, hopefully, which is Saturday. All right, everybody. Sweet potatoes are doing great. Collards and kale are doing great, which I don't worry about. That cabbage is coming along. These cabbages are still coming along. More sweet potatoes doing fine. Okra's finally starting to show up for the party. The potatoes, I don't know what they're doing. I think it's just not enough space. Tomatoes are coming along. I do have some coming up on the vines, and just being patient and waiting. I don't know if you could see them, but they're in there. I'm using the Florida weave. Not really a fan of it, probably because I have too many tomatoes in this space. It would probably worked out better if I had done fewer, but hey, it's a live and learn process. Lots of green beans. I've got more flowers for green bell peppers. I've got some flowers down there for my spicy peppers. There are cucumbers in there, but I just didn't want to harvest anymore. Um, One's because the bees are coming out. Second, because some of them aren't quite as big as I want them to be yet. There are some over there that I can't get to because the borage is over there and it's loaded with bees. Ever since I got stung that time, I'm not trying to be by any of them. I don't care if they're not paying attention to me. I'm paying attention to them. Strawberry bed is filling out, so next year I should have a nice harvest of strawberries. I've got marigolds coming up from some stray seeds that I just threw in on this tower and on that tower down there. Sorry if I whipped you around too fast. My oregano is flowering, which I don't care. It does what it does. My chives are about to flower. I will probably come and harvest some more of this and dry it up. Not touching my greens yet. They're nice, tender, beautiful leaves. I don't want to harvest any. There's a tomato in there. I still don't know what kind. I'll find out eventually. I'm going to just let it do what it does and see if it puts out any fruit. It was a volunteer. I see a few weeds in here that I need to pull, but that's for another day. This week coming is going to be the hottest week in the garden so far, so I just have to make sure I stay on top of my watering. My bee balm has gone to seed, or is about to go to seed. All the petals are pretty much gone, but the phlox has showed up and they're looking great. My little feverfew is coming along. My one little feverfew. Um, Where's that other? There it is, the other marigold that I just tossed some seeds in from popping them off of the random plants around. And the newest discovery, I have ground cherries again. Ground cherries in with the potatoes. I didn't pull that one since it's actually in the bed. Those were around over there, so I pulled them up and plopped them into the soil because something knocked that over and killed my plant that was in there. So I figured I'd at least use part of the soil. The balloon flowers are still doing great, and the yarrow is looking nice. Oof, time to go. Oh, my whatchamacallits are in. The Rebecchias are starting to fill out the space, so they're adding some color. I do have marigolds down in there. I gotta trim back this basil one more time. It's just so bushy. I've never had basil do so amazing before. But I don't want it to kill off my marigolds. And there's my one lone nasturtium. It's surviving. Out of all the ones I brought up here, that's the only one that's hanging out. All the others decided, nope, we're not having it this year. Anyway, it is what it is. It's a garden. You win some, you lose some. And I think my cucumbers are going to have a bumper crop because last year I had a ton. I only had one plant. This year I think I have 4 tucked in there, like 2 on that side and 2 on this side, and they're going crazy. I'm just gonna let them do what they do. I will pickle a bunch, I will sell a bunch, I will give away a bunch because they're still going and going and going, and they're coming out everywhere. My white knight eggplant is buried in over there. I'm gonna probably pull it out and find a place to put it. I might put it in the top of this pot. I'm not sure yet, unless I put it out there, but then it's susceptible to the drive by and walk by, want to grab it. No, I'm not letting my fruits of my labor go out like that. But there are plenty of green beans in there, but I just got enough for today's dinner. It's a nice looking bush. It's just hanging over the edge. I like that the most. That's how I did them last year, but they were over there. And they were kind of difficult to pick. That's why I put the pumpkin over there so it could just take over that spot because it's really hard to get to without feeling like you're about to fall down the hill. What I would love to do is hire somebody to extend this out even maybe 2 feet more with a retaining wall so that this whole thing, that I could get around it. Because this side, I have a little bit more space than over here. It's not straight. because I went according to the way the alley was before they gave us a new surface. And that is straight and true. And so now I found that all my measurements were based off of a crooked alley. Um, and it's gonna stay that way until these two beds give out on me, and it's time to build two new ones like those with the corrugated metal. But before that happens, I would love to extend this out just even two, I can't say even just 2 more feet, and have a solid retaining wall, and this be level, because this does kind of start curving toward the hill. As you can tell, everything has a nice little lean with it, rock with it going on. My corn didn't get very tall, but I do see some tiny ears down in there, and hopefully they'll actually produce some corn for me. I'm going inside. I have other things to do. I didn't harvest any chamomile the last couple days, and it shows. I'll probably have to do that tomorrow. I'll do that tomorrow because I just don't have the time to do it today. All right, this is my little mini tour for Sunday, July 23rd, 22nd, 23rd, whatever it is. All right. Have a good day. Keep it green. Fall sunflowers popping up over there. And I think it's almost time to start treating those tree of heaven so that they can start dying back. I've got to check that chart with the holistic, high and holistic, and see what she's saying. Let's see, those stems or the branches down there, the trunks need to be treated with like a hack and squirt. But it's got to be when the energy is going down to the roots, and I think that's coming up this week. Of course, the hottest week. And I have to treat all those stray eastern red buds, because I did cut them down, but of course I didn't spray them, so they've sprouted out. So now it looks like a little jungle again, but I can handle it. I think I'll have to come out here suited up and super early and just start hacking them down. And this time I will spray them so that I don't have to deal with them sprouting again. All right, I'm tired already. I'm gone. Have a good day. Keep it green.